Hey guys, it's Steve. I'm just making a quick video. As the title says, my opinion on women in the draft. And I'm actually going out to a group that I recently found about a month ago. It's an MGTOW group, men going their own way. I don't know if I say it MGTOW, I don't know. But anyway, men going their own way. And I really enjoyed some of the comments and being in the room. Um, so hopefully this clears up who I am and where my opinions come from. Today we're going to address it. I'm hoping to get this thing below 15 minutes because I know over 12 minutes people don't watch it. And I'm asking, if you like what you see, like they say, like and subscribe. But if you don't, then I'll be posting these videos to men going their own way. For some reason, some men want to comment, some men don't because they don't want to get in trouble with their girlfriends, wives, whatever. But anyway, this is just a video for this group, and anybody that wants to share, please feel free to do so. First of all, we're going to address the fact is that women in the military and the upcoming or debate on the draft. Now, everybody knows when you hit 18 as a male, you have to go register for the draft. I'm not for sure if too many young men realize that they have to do that. But I know when after I hit 18, I had to go down there and do it. It was mandatory. I don't know what the penalties are or whatever if you don't. I do believe that there's a lot of individuals that are 18 that haven't registered to for the draft. We're going to address that issue when it comes up, I guess. But isn't it funny how all these feminists you watch, they don't need a man. They can work on their own. They can do things for themselves. They don't need a man. It's better not to have a man. All these things. All of a sudden, the ponytails and pigtails come out. Now I'm a woman now. I'm a woman now. I don't have to go fight. I'm sorry, but if you want to be treated equally, then you have to perform equally. Um, and if you can't, then who are you to vote for somebody who has to go fight a war in your stead? This has been a major uh, uh, issue with the military. Back in the American Revolution, you could say, for example, if you couldn't serve or you for some reason you're disabled or whatever, you would have to put somebody in your stead. So in other words, you would have to have somebody from your family or a friend that you know go fight in your stead. So in other words, instead of you going, they go. And if an individual was um, not able to go, then they weren't able to vote whether to go to war or not, um, because they don't have to participate in it. Basically, it is. Anyway, it's funny because I've seen some videos on here. It's like women are saying, "Well, just go get pregnant. You can't have an abortion now, so just go get pregnant." Well, then there you go, guys. The trap is set. All of a sudden, she's pregnant. You're downrange for a year, and a half, whatever. 6 months to 7 months into 3 to 6 months within your deployment, you're going to get a Dear John letter. She went off with Jody, and he makes more money, and he's always home, and blah 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 blah. So anyway, you're going to get a Dear John letter. Happens to the best of us. Happens all the time, which is detrimental not only to your unit but to your staff, to your soldiers or Marines, because the fact is that now you got a guy that's dealing with that kind of crap, and it's like, what, less bad news from home. It's you take it twice as bad when you're downrange. But we have already lowered our standards as far as um, qualifying and meeting the requirements physically. Men have to do 19 push-ups. I mean, 19 pull-ups, or 20. Sorry, 20 pull-ups to pass the Marine Corps fitness test. Well, it's already been proven that women can't do that, so now they get on a bar and they just hang for 15 seconds. These things like this, the run times are slower. They have a different requirement for their run times. Um, and setups. They have a different set of rules. So in other words, our military has bent over backwards so to appease the feminist movement, so that the individuals can serve, our females can serve. Where I've had a problem in the past of dealing with females in a combat infantry unit or in a combat mode, either infantry or Marine Corps security forces or any type of security force element, things that we don't think about is that if women can actually function under this environment or whatever. Let me just tell you this, and this is what I've witnessed personally, is that women on a given day could probably pass their requirements. But see, you're looking at a period of days on end with you having to deal with the same environment over and over and over again, which is not really suitable to women. And if you guys know what I mean. Um, so it's not the fact is that they can't do the job. They just can't do it consistently every day. And that is what's required of soldiers, sailors, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard. That's where the proof's in the pudding, is the fact that can you do the same thing every day and out with equal enthusiasm, and also to the proper requirements that your actual job requires. Unit cohesiveness is very, very important. It affects morale. It affects how you operate as a unit. If you have to take up constantly for somebody who's not pulling their own weight, then you deal with it within a unit. You deal with this individual um, by letting him or by motivating him in any way, shape, form, or fashion that needs to pull his weight. He needs to step it up a notch. Now, with women, that's difficult because the fact is that women, they have rules where uh, you can't yell at them a certain level. You can't motivate them the same level as you can a man, because the fact is that they haven't experienced, or they won't experience, or they ever have experienced holding a weapon, marching for a long period of time with that weapon, marching with the pack. You're marching whenever you are humping and you are going somewhere. It's pivotal that you keep pace. It's pivotal that you actually get from point A to point B in a certain time frame. And we don't have time to stop. Um, and of course, men take bigger steps. And so those things don't seem important to a regular guy, to somebody looking in it, but it does, because the fact is that, like I said, it's doing the same thing over and over again daily, and men seem to handle that better. It still bothers men. The fact is that we got to do the same shit over and over again, but it doesn't have the emotional impact that it does on females. We as men have all been raised, or should have been raised, or the right way. I'm not saying the right way, but anyway, our generation was raised that you don't raise your hand to women, you don't hurt women or children. That's what we're here for. We're to protect somebody from hurting women and children. Now we're having women who say, you know what, you don't need to protect us. Okay, I'll do that. I won't protect you. But the fact of the matter is that you have got to show me that you don't need protection. You can't in a firefight. You can't in a mortar attack or an RPG attack or something along these lines. You cannot lose your shit. You can't. A lot of people do, but they realize, you know what? I can't lose my shit. We know women are more emotional. We know different things affect women emotionally, and these kind of things, when they are put in danger, they are always looking for somebody to protect them, as they were trained, as they were raised. You didn't hit women. You didn't abuse women. You didn't do those things. Not saying those things don't happen, but the fact is that um, if you do abuse women or you abuse children, there's certain ways that we handle it inside the unit as well. But the impact that women have on the military should be restrained, because the fact is that some of the best soldiers that I've seen, female soldiers that I've seen, work in intelligence. They work in commo. They work in supply. They move. They move through convoys, things back and forth to the front lines, or they move them to different FOBs or combat outposts. So there's got to be restraint on how we can actually not put women in combat, because not only does it endanger them, but it also endangers the entire unit. Because of the fact is, I'll give you an example. Jessica Lynch was taken prisoner. She was taken prisoner, and first of all, if you get taken prisoner, you're going to be raped, male or female. It doesn't make no difference. In a Muslim country, you're going to be raped. So this happened to her, and American people, we reacted by saying, you know what, you're messing with a woman. We're going to protect the women. So we had to we had to send a special unit in to go get this female. And if you were a male, no, name, rank, serial number. That's what you're required to do. And then also the fact is that Jessica Lynch is a tidbit that nobody seen. Well, those that served in the military kind of know this already, but she never fired a shot. She had her weapon, but she never fired a shot. She said her weapon jammed. Okay, let's look at this. She didn't clean her weapon. Okay, that's just the only plausible thing that I can come up with, because the fact is that an M16 in that kind of environment with that much sand or whatever, you got to clean it every stinking day. I know, sometimes twice a day. When we were out, it's like, you know what, every time we took a break while we were eating lunch, we cleaned our weapon. Because the ultimate nightmare is to have your weapon jammed at the wrong time. This is what happened. She was messed up from the IED, yes, but she did have her weapon, and she didn't fire the weapon. So this is an example of her mind. She let her mind overload her thinking, and we all know, you see the situation, you understand the situation, and then you act accordingly. Well, this is women are trained to do so. However, when we go to boot camp, or when men are actually able to be boys and be men, we learn these things. We learn these things pretty quickly, because fortunately we are taught that these are things that are required from a male. People call that being an alpha male. People call it doesn't make any difference. I'm a man. I'm a guy. I'm gonna do guy shit, and I'm gonna do it because it's gonna benefit me or others in the long run or down the road. So anyway, um, we have got to rethink this issue of women letting women serve in the military. They cannot serve on frontline units. They cannot physically bear the strain. They cannot psychologically bear the strain. They're not. They're not. Um, they are not accustomed to these kind of things that are in mind that you have to have in your mindset. And unfortunately, males are more adept at making this adjustment, because the fact is that they've been through shit before. They've been hunting, they've been fishing, they've been outside, they've been doing things or whatever. And it doesn't mean that you're going to survive in combat, but what it does mean is that you have the wherewithal because you've been in situations like this before. Now, keep it with my 15 minutes. Last thing I'll say is that uh, I hate to say this, but women, if you continue with this feminist type of attitude, then the fact is you're going to find yourself in these situations. You're going to be one day you're going to be forced in these situations, because the fact is that the type of men that we're raising right now, and that you're raising your sons that you're raising right now, it scares the shit out of me, because the fact is that I look at some of these kids and I'm like, you know what, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it one day. You're not even going to make it to the FOB. And men are coming out. These younger generation kids are coming. I ain't fighting. No, I ain't gonna fight. No, I ain't gonna fight. No, I'm not. No, you don't want me. No, I'm not. Okay. Well, who's going to defend the nation? Who's going to be the one that steps up and says, you know what, enough's enough. I'm going. And how many of these individuals who dodge the draft or don't go to fight their country's battles, how many other individuals are going to have to take their place to go in their stead? I don't know how to answer that question. But I do know that there are individuals that I see right now. I don't, as being a combat veteran, I do not want you anywhere around me. I do not want you even in my same AO. I do not want you because you're going to get somebody hurt. You're going to get somebody killed. And that is just reality. They'll step on cans. They'll go start poking shit. They won't pay attention. They'll be on their damn cell phone, won't pay attention to the road and see there's an IED in the road. They just run right over it. It's like, oh, well. And the thing about it is people don't understand is the fact is that if these individuals do pursue this line, and it's one thing to where you get hurt or you get wounded, and all that entails. But I can tell you that if you know that you are the cause of somebody else getting hurt, wounded, you got to live with that all your life. You will be dreaming of what you could have done different, how you messed up, if you messed up, who messed up. You will relive that moment all your life. Bad dreams, man, bad dreams. And that's all I've got to say. We are entering into a period of time where it's time to put up or shut up. America has to put up or shut up. And we need individuals who are living in America to realize you need to put up or shut up. All these things that you've been given to, all this charity, all these things that you've ridden off of boomers and all these other generations that you said, it's time for you to earn your keep. It's time for you to put your country, other people before you. Now, after all of the things I went through in Afghanistan and in Iraq, at one point in time, the decision-making process was so bad that we had I don't fight. To be honest with you, I didn't fight for no flag, no country, no politicians. That was all beyond me. That was above my pay grade. But I fought for me and my buddies. I fought with my buddies. And I did everything possible to make sure that they didn't get hurt. And that is the mentality that we have to get, because rank structure, hey, it is rank structure. They're going to send you into places where you know you shouldn't be, but you got to do it anyway. You got to saddle up and go dancing. And right now, I don't even see nobody even dusting off their saddle. I will say this. This last thing I say, I'm over 15 minutes. Anyway, last thing I'll say is this. Is that we have to realize that we are not special. We have to realize the threat that we have at our front door from radical Muslim and their religion. Not all Muslims are like that. I've seen that firsthand. And the next thing, if you do not like living in this country now and you want to bitch, whine, and complain about how everybody's mistreating you, and guess what? It's time to put up or shut up. It's time for you now to prove that you don't need a man. It's time for you to prove you can do it on your own. Because other lives are depending on you and how well you do your job. If you don't do it, people get hurt. So that's all I got to say. I'm over my 15 minutes. Please like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think or whatever. I'm sure when I post this image, there's going to be some females that come back or whatever. You know what? I'm being told right now to where the fact is I don't really give a shit what you think. I don't care. I don't been in combat. I've seen Sharia law. I've seen it. And I'm telling you right now, you ain't not ready. You are not ready or can't even fathom what is at our door. You can't even fathom what these radical Muslims will do. It doesn't matter. Transgender, LGBT, gay. You guys are supporting the Muslim or you guys are supporting terrorism. And it's like, you know what? They're going to use your ass just to get their foot in the front door here. And guess what? Just like Afghanistan, when we left Sharia law took hold, there is no schools for women. Women can be killed just because the fact is 4 people says they cheated on somebody or they looked at a man the wrong way. And unfortunately, there's so many people say it can't happen here. Well, okay, I don't believe it either. But the fact of the matter is, you know what? What if it does? And what if you were actually one responsible who had to keep the wolf at bay, and to keep them at bay because you're relying on men to do so. You're relying on that man to protect you so you can have your rights and you can actually be whatever you want to be or whatever. But just remember, somebody fought and died for you to have that right. And there's going to be many more that fight and die for you to protect it, for you to have that right. Can we have just a simple courtesy of you acknowledging, well, maybe men can do that better than I can. Maybe I could actually help this man go through boot camp. Maybe I can help this man when he's overseas. Maybe I can do that. Can't be done. Females will not allow it. They will use individuals who go downrange, and it's just 3 to 6 months you're gonna get a Dear John letter. So anyway, that's all I got. You guys like, share. Please comment. Good, bad, ugly. I'm out.